Alright guys, welcome back. Let's get started. I'm gonna go through Stronghold right now. Stronghold is a faction where basically you have the biggest, baddest creatures out there, and the goal is obviously to get a card advantage, get a battlefield advantage to show creatures that enrage themselves, that has bloodthirst, get more damage, and it's a pretty straightforward deck. I mean, the faction right there, but they have the best creatures for the cost, and that's what makes them quite interesting to buy. So yeah, let's start. All right, let's get to it right away. So I already have the starter deck ready to go. So first of all, they give you Cat, which is a Seeker of Freedom. She started with two Destiny, just like any other starting heroes right there. She has Earth Magic and Hair Magic, and yeah. So let's go and start it right away with the events. So I find it interesting that they actually go for Week of Weaponsmith in Day of the Dark Fallen Wolf. It's basically events where you actually increase one of your three basic stats, which is attack, retaliation, or HP. That's which here is attack and here is retaliation. I guess it's alright, but it's not something you want to go for in the late game. I don't really like Celebration because it can be either good or bad, depending on whoever plays it. And yeah, what you want to go for normally when you build a deck and you're going to go for events is you want one-sided events. These are the best for sure and by far, that is. Because your opponent can use them, so yeah. So I'm not a fan of these specifically. I mean, these are okay because you can boost the creatures that are already super good. Normally what I'm going to go for is go for the extra damage because those Stronghold creatures as mostly they mostly have HP. They don't really have that extra damage, but some of them do. However, getting that extra damage with Week of some Mercenaries definitely makes sense. Normally when you make a deck and creature based, which is normally what I'm going to go for when you go for Stronghold, going for those Week of Mercenaries is definitely great because you can actually draw twice a turn, and for only 3 costs you get 1 more damage, which is just so good. So definitely is worthwhile there. I love the Weekly Ceremonies. I think it's pretty good for those Stronghold decks there. Normally, when you start, when I'm going to go for is try to get for spells. I'm going to go for a deck that is 5 or maybe 4 magic and 2 destiny. I'm not going to go for any kind of specialized deck. I'm really trying to help out the new players there, get started with the deck and have the best way to get started there. So, moving on, starting with the events, I think that going for that specific Wicked Mercenaries is quite interesting, and it is in reinforcement packs. So yeah, considering what you have to buy, I think Herald of the Void and reinforcement packs is the best way. Wait, give me a second. No, never mind. What you need to do is get Forgotten Wars expansion and reinforcement packs. Reinforcement pack because you get all those big creatures, the backbone creatures, and Forgotten Wars because you get those amazing creatures you can utilize later on. So yeah, let's get started. Week of Mercenaries, I think, is a pretty good event there because you go for creature-based decks. This is good against Necropolis, against Academies. So if you have a chance with the Forgotten Wars, you're gonna be you might get this event. Try it out. 2 is normally the staples. You could go for a bit more. And yeah, normally you want to go for spells because you want to be for a more aggressive approach. That's I mean, oh yeah, Fortune as is possibilities as well. But normally we see more of these spells because we have these events there. So that's why we don't see too much of the hybrid decks. I know they're trying really hard to make it happen, but anyhow. We have Week of Taxes and Mana Storm. So basically, what happens is that when you play Fortune, you pay 1 more, or if you can't, you take 1 damage. So if you don't play too much Fortune, that is a one-sided event. And as I said, one-sided events are just that great. So this is why if you actually go for that deck that I'm proposing right now, I think is the best way to get started. If you get Week of Taxes and Mercenaries, you're pretty much good to go, and the cheaper counterpart is Month Distinct Flame, of course. Moving on, let's get to the creatures we start with. I really like that creature. It is super good by itself. Normally, when I play these Stronghold decks, I want to go for 4 of these. I know they have 1 HP, but they have 2 damage, and they're ranged. Ranged 2 damage. All the other decks out there, they have range 2 damage, but that costs 2. This one costs 1. I know it's weak to spells, I know it's weak to AoEs. It is still a good card by itself. I would definitely try to run 3 or 4 of these. This can be useful, but only if you have Enrage creatures. So maybe, it depends on what kind of deck you go for. Not a special fan of the Black Vulture because it's a 2/1/2 that costs 2. It's okay, right? But if you have the counterpart, it's a 2/1/4 for the cost 2. And it's a reinforcement packs again. So try to get the reinforcement pack, and the few wildcards you have, try to get those commons as fast as possible. It's just going to upgrade your deck fast and efficiently. So we're not RP, definitely a good card there also. Moving on, you have Goblin Hunters. You mean retaliation 2-on-3. It is still shooter for 2 damage. I still prefer the RPs because it's fire, so you can put it anywhere. But you still like the two cost there, so I think that going for that is an option, and the 2-on-3 is definitely not so bad. So normally I run 2 of these and 4 of these RPs. I feel like that's the best way to go for that. This is more for stalling decks. I'm not sure why they included that in this deck. I guess it's just to get you guys some possibilities. And that's why they put 2 creatures of a lot of these, just to really try them out. I don't really like this one. It's mostly for spell decks and stall decks. It's okay. Actually, it's pretty good with that hero. I'm gonna talk to you why. This guy, 3 damage, 3 cost. Amazing, 4 HP, amazing. Use this guy, get 4 of these, it's amazing. Same thing with Dreamwalker. If you go for the Enrage with the little guy here that we have, it actually works down pretty fairly, since each turn is gonna get more and more. So yeah, so the Enrage works whenever a friendly creature that you get more and more Enrage with there's +1 attack, +1 retaliation. You can get pretty scary fast. It's okay. It's a good card. This is a pretty good card as well. So either way, these are options, good options. I like the War Elephant. Why? 7 HP, 3 cost. That's ridiculous. Yes, it is. It is, of course, and you get 2 retaliation out of it. Awesome blocker for the cost. Awesome card. Normally you want to go for 3 or 4 of these. Amazing card. Black Skull Rusher. We don't see too much of these, but it's okay. I mean, it is a 2 with Swift, which is decent by itself. It's alright. 3 cost. Not being played too much, but it has some potential. And then we have Cardinal. It's played not in a lot of decks, in a few decks. It's okay. If the opponent has a lot of these AoEs of removal, trust me, they're gonna always have some kind of removal on their deck. That card is just a bit weaker. You really gotta play it as a snowballing card when you have a lot of creatures already in the board that are safe. If not, the opponent's gonna know how to deal with this. So Hard Boots, they already gave you one, and that's why I say Forgotten Wars. This guy is amazing. He's just that good. Bloodthirst is so good with Earth Magic. I'm gonna explain that later on. I play a lot of Stronghold, so hopefully this is gonna help you out as much as possible. I hope so. Bloodthirst is whenever an enemy creature dies, he gets +1 Enrage. So you have Bloodthirst, and you have the other one, which is Enrage here. So not so bad, right? This is a good blocker. For the cost, you get better options like this guy. You get a Crusher. For 4 costs, and there's even a better common. I don't know why I didn't include it. I'm gonna get through it in a second there. Not a fan of this guy, really. I mean, this guy is okay for the only reason that he has magic resist. Magic resist is a thing. There's too much of these magic spells. It's good. Trust me, it's fine. So Armor Rotor, pretty good card. Deal 1 damage to ambush creature. Ambush, yeah, it's okay. It's with, but there's body option. I'm gonna get through these options in a second. Dreamwalker is fine. That is fun as well. I mean, that is okay. For the cost, good stats, okay. That's pretty badass. 336, right? 5 might. It's a lot, though. I'm gonna talk to you guys about better options right now. Okay, so when you play Stronghold, you want to go for 4 of these. These guys are just so good. It's a good snowball, and it's shooter, so you can decide when you go with those. This is okay. Some player play them. I'm not a fan, really. Let's keep on going. Let's see. RPs 4. Get 4 as fast as possible. Good stats for the 2 costs. Amazing card. Normally you want to run 2 of these. I think they give you 2 already. Pretty neat. Good. Thank you. Moving on. I think you have to go for 4 of these. 3 damage is always super good. Also, Dreamwalker is a decent option. It's a good alternative in my opinion. If you want to go for more Enrage decks, I think you need a bit more of these guys there. So, depends on what kind of style you want to go for. So go 2 deep. I'm just trying to make you guys a good cat deck that works efficiently. It's going to help you get high and elo quick. And then from there, I definitely recommend you guys to go for ndocking.com. Check out the latest decks out there, and feel free to learn from how to do deck builds and stuff like that. And hopefully you're going to have enough cards to vary your deck and maybe try another faction later on. So yeah, just trying to make you guys a good deck that works and is efficient. It's going to get you some good currency and get you started. So yeah, that's why I say go for these guys or not. Moving on, these guys are so good. That's why I say Forgotten Wars, gotta get them as fast as possible, they're so good. Okay, so you have Bloodthirst, right? I'm gonna talk about strategy right now. We got Bloodthirst. So whenever an enemy creature dies, you get +1. And you have Earth Magic. It's too bad I don't give it to you right away. Oops, sorry, I'm getting some kind of message there. But yeah, you have Earth Magic. And with Earth Magic, you can use that card. 3 damage to all creatures. You're normally gonna kill at least 2 or 3 creatures of your enemy's side. And you guys gonna survive. You get +3 damage, 5 damage straight to the hero. It's amazing. Normally when you want to do Insect Swarm, you want to do Earthquake, all damage, easy removal, really. And since their cards they all have that IHP, you're so good. You're good. You can take a few damage. Getting that bloodthirst, getting that damage straight to the hero. That's what matters, right? So, superb card. I run 4 in most of my decks. It's really good. Let's keep going on those creatures. Also, POW is a good alternative. Whenever a creature dies, this guy's gonna die at the end of the turn. So you can even trigger Dreamwalkers, because if it's a friendly creature dies, you get +1. Same thing with this guy. So if you use the POW, you get 3 damage. So basically this guy's a removal or a finisher, and you get additional value out of Enrage. So it's a good possibility, good strategy. People use it for sure. Let's move on. That is pretty bad. Don't play the RP 103. Just talking about simple creatures, good creatures, guys, that you should go for as soon as possible. Tainted Oak. That card is superbly good. Play them as soon as possible. I don't know why they didn't give out any for free. It's just in reinforcement pack. I think it's probably the first thing you're gonna go for when you have a full wildcards and you unlock that tier. Get to the Altar Wishes. Any kind of commons they don't cost that much. This guy has 4 damage, 3 retaliation, 7 HP for only 4/4. This guy is amazing. All the Stronghold decks, they run 4 of these, so this card's just so great. And it's a common, easy to get, awesome. Moving on, Vultures, Black Riders. These guys are pretty good because if you play Earth Magic, you're gonna be using those Insect Swarm and Earthquakes. Of course, some of your creature may die after you attack. So the goal is that you attack, and once this is done, you use that Insect Swarm, you get the Bloodthirst, and whenever a creature dies, it costs 1 less. If you play it correctly, the Black Vulture Rider with combo with can make good combo with Insect Swarm and Earthquakes, and can put these guys for free. Yeah, for free. So that's pretty much the goal there. You get value out of doing Insect Swarm with this hero and stuff. Also, this guy's being played a few times. Quick Attack and Swift is pretty good keywords there. This guy doesn't die at the end of the turn, which is quite interesting. And Swift is super good, so I would recommend if you guys have the chance to get them. I think it's a Revel of the Void. Quite a good card for sure. This is an alternative to get to the ongoings. It's okay. It depends on what schools you got, but it's alright. It depends, really. Sometimes you need to run 2 to have some kind of removal, really. That is a new card. That is not so good. It's good in specified decks, but as I said, I want to try for a staple deck that's really want to get you started and get the snowball going and actually get a few currency and stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm going for the specific decks, guy. Moving on, if you go for 5 might, you're gonna get that guy. Why? The enemy spell word keyword is just so good, guys. It is so good. This creature can be target of spells of your opponent controls. I would say more than 60% of the decks out there use spells. They have a really hard time to get this guy. Why? Good stats, crazy keyword. Moving on, Forgotten Wars card. Hell yeah, it's the Fire Wind Chaser. Why is that good? Magic resists. As I said, spells are everywhere. Good stats. When it enters the battleground or attacks, give Swift. Swift is amazing. You can Swift those big Tainted Oak, 4 damage everywhere, all around the way. You can Swift those flyers, the 3/3/6 all the way. Yeah, this card is just so great. It's, in my opinion, one of the best uniques, really. That's why I'm telling you guys, go Forgotten Wars, go Reinforcement Pack. If you go Stronghold, that is the way to go. Amazing card, really amazing, super good card here. Moving on to the spells, I think they gave you pretty much crappy spells. I don't really like them, but yeah, the spells I want to go for. Okay, it's okay. Incurred for 1. That's pretty bad. The traps are easy to go through, to see coming and like make it happen. That's not so good. The problem with those enchant creatures is that there's so many removal that it's easy to get rid of those creatures easily. Therefore, all these enchant creatures are not that strong. That's not good. That's pretty good though. That's a good removal for might. For magic, sorry. That's good as well. 6 damage can get rid of most of the unique creatures out there. So this is definitely a good, decent removal. Normally, people run 2 of these or 3. Not a fan of Cyclone that much. It's okay. Which one to go for? Here it is. Earthquake, 2 damage to unknown flyer. You play a lot of flyers. You play, okay, of course this guy is like quite weak to it, right? You play flyer, you play these flyers, vultures. That's already 8 right there. And all the others have so much HP that they're gonna resist that damage. And these guys are gonna get bloodthirst. Amazing card. Earthquake is pretty good, and it kills the Dark Assassins. Dark Assassins being a 4/0/2/4/2. I'm telling you guys, don't play it because it is so weak to a lot of removal, aka Earthquake, which is all creatures. So definitely try to get these as soon as possible. Moving on, Insect Swarm, Reinforcement again, you say? Gotta get that. 3 damage to all creatures, super good as well. There's a lot of that creatures that have 3 HP, mostly in Sanctuary side and stuff like that. So try to get at least 3 Insect Swarms. I know you see the bad stuff, right? But this game has so many removal. More than once in a game, you're gonna have your old creature board get wiped out. Your opponent plays creatures, there's no bad stuff because you don't even take damage. You just play Insect Swarm, then you play your creatures. So good. Play that, get that. Moving on. These guys, commons, 4 damage, super good removal, 3 cost, amazing card. Play them, try them, you won't regret it. Same thing with Wind Gust. I think having 1 or 2 is quite good because it relocates enemy creatures and can get you the win. These are gone by itself. Moving on, if you have the chance later on, after you complete most of these big creatures like Forgotten Wars and Tainted Orcs and bloodthirst, guys, you wanna go for the Song of the Last. Why? Locate target enemy creatures. You can repeat this as many times as you want. So you can attack, move people, attack again. You can do the full damage potential of this card. Amazing. All the uniques spells are so good, guys. If you have the chance to get one in your deck, please do. Same thing with Mind Nature. It is crazy with Stronghold because they have all 7 HP, 6 HP, 5 HP. All those like big HP and everything is all down. It's super good. So if you have a chance, guys, get these. Definitely great cards. They cost 16, I think, wild cards, which is a lot. But yeah, try to get these like Tainted Orcs and all these comments I've been talking about are amazing. So normally when you play Cat, you want to go for, of course you get a 2 Destiny for free, but you want to go for these spells because it's pretty straightforward and it's super good. And I think going for 5 and 4 is definitely the best way to go. And then maybe had a few fortunes. Let's see what they gave you guys. That is just garbage. Don't play that. Garbage. That's pretty good. 3 damage. Actually, normally you can play it at least once. I think 2 of these is actually a decent number. I don't like that, really. They don't. You really have to have it take around Enrage or bloodthirst to make it happen, or else it's not that good. This is quite ordinary. You need to put 2 creatures, and they cost 2. So, like, you need to put 2 small creatures, and then pay 2 to make it happen. Normally, it's gonna be turn 6, 7, maybe more, so it's okay. It's not that great. It works, but like you gotta slow down yourself to use it. Surprise attack, superb good card. It's superb. But as I said, try to go for magic. It's gonna help you out, guys. Get started at the beginning. It's really good. And yeah, amazing card there for sure. But you have to go for destiny. And the more you level up, the less cards you draw. The less cards you draw, the less your snowball is gonna be strong. And this game is all about snowballing. So don't go for 2 iron might or 2 iron destiny or 2 iron magic. Try to get there and then draw 2 cards and snowball your opponents. Also, there's a building that came out, which is the war tent. I have to show you guys that because it's quite good, trust me. Let's see. There we go. Sorry. So this is the war tent. So it is basically an enchantment on a square. It's you put it down, and whenever the creature gets into it, get +2 damage. Yeah, POWs 5 damage. The Black Skull Shredder, you can actually do 4 damage, move away. Another Black Skull Cutter, 4 damage, move away. You can do crazy combos with that in Zephyr and Swift. Definitely a great building, guys. So if you have the chance to get that in the latest expansion, 5 towers, give it a chance. I think 2 or 3 is the correct number there. Definitely a good upgrade in 2 damage all the time. And you need magic though. So yeah, as I said, magic is fine. Get the magic. Go for the 5/4. Definitely something good done. I'm taking 5 because of the Black Skull spells shield, guys. And yeah, somehow they didn't have these fortune for free there, but it's super good, guys. The best one, in my opinion, is Sacrificial Altar. This is gonna help you finish up games. Why? And clear those big unique creatures. It is super good. You put a 2/7 elephant, let's say, and let's say in a scenario. You have a Tainted Orc, your opponent has 6 HP left. You have Tainted Orc with War Tent, meaning that he has 6 damage. And he's facing, let's say, a big blocker of, I don't know, 6 HP, right? So you think, okay, I'm gonna have to kill it next turn, I'll be able to get my guy. Get the hero, finish it up. No. Sacrificial Altar, put that elephant down, and use it, and kill that 6 HP guy. And then you can do the 6 damage through. Even better, you can attack and use that after to clear another row, do the more damage. This card is pretty good. I run at least 2 in most of my Stronghold decks. It is a surprise card. It is super efficient. Same thing with this one. Boosting by 2 is quite good, I agree. but if you have to put a card face down, so that means you're gonna have less options next turns. It's alright. It is a good alternative, but yeah, having surprise limit in any kind of decks is amazing, guys. It's gonna help you finish up your opponents. So yeah, to sum it up, Forgotten Wars, definitely a great expansion for Stronghold because of bloodthirst and Zephyria, and then you have a reinforcement because you get all those backbone and tinted orcs and all those great cards. And yeah, if you need more advanced decks, guys, once you get starting and once you get more gold, more seals, and more wild cards, I really recommend you guys take a look at those fan sites, either mmdoc.net or mmdocking.com to get the latest, the best decks out there and try and vary your gameplay. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and cheers. Have fun.